Hi everyone, my name is Sutti. I am from Thailand. As you can see, I am fluent in English. Oh, that's what I thought until I moved to this country and found out you Brummy don't actually speak English. To make it worse, my first day at work, my very nice colleague is from the black country. So he was nice, smiley, and said, "Hi, how are you?" And that was pretty much all I could get. I was, looking into the room, trying to find somebody to help me out. Finally met someone. He was nice, he was smiling, and then he looked at me and he said, "You are on your own, mate." So my first day was a blur. No clue what that guy was saying, but he was nice. And let's talk about food, because I've been a chef for a long time, and I find the concept of British food very interesting. Because, through history, at one point in time, you conquer the world. You bring all the good back to this country. And what do people here eat? Crisp sandwich. Chips butties. And bread and butter pudding. So it's very interesting to see, like a 3-course meal based on white bread. Spot on, like what? I am married, and I just need to clear the air, because a lot of people ask me if my husband is white. He's not. He's pink. Thank you. The kind that go out in the sun, doesn't get suntan, get red like cooked lobster. That's my husband. And because he grew up here, I grew up in Thailand, our cultural difference is just through the roof. So we bought a house together, and he said to me, "Suits, what's the first thing you do when you move into a new house?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, simple. You bring rice into the house, so you'll never be starved in the house. You bring the Buddha in, because it's a symbol of goodness. And you bring salt in to cleanse the bad spirits." He looked at me, and he said, "No, Suits, you change the lock." So stranger don't come into the house. But I'm like, "Bitch, what do you think sour for?" And he always said that I have naughty mind, but really, how can I not be? He was driving, I was sitting in the passenger seat, and there was a sign that reads, "Hump for 100 yards." So, he's driving, are we supposed to stop in the middle of the road? I'm so confused. And then, of course, we went to the lovely Toby Cabri. Like a lot of people, I like reading the menu. And of course, there was spotted dick on it. At first, I thought it was a prank for foreigner who just moved here. So I look around, there's no camera. All right, I took my phone out, and it was a legit thing, that's real. Lucky for me, though, they serve it with custard. Because imagine if they would have served spotted dick with squirty cream. I would have died of laughter on the floor that night. And on the way here, we drove past a pub. That pub is called the Fighting Cocks. Thank you so much, because if you hear that and you think of 2 chickens fighting, I am very sorry, we cannot be friends. I mean, I am from Bangkok after all. So I've become British lately. And in order to do that, I need to do 2 tests. One is an English test, which is, no problem. I'm not bothered by it. The second one is the test that called Life in the UK. And I was really concerned because none of those questions has anything to do with my life here. So I talked to my friend about it, and she was like, "Oh, Home Office, they sell a book. It's only £5. And you can read through it, you understand a bit more, you go through the test a bit easier." I'm like, dude, I already spent $1,500. I'm not spending any more money on this. So off I went to the test. I remember a few questions. Like I said, it has nothing to do with my life at all. But I'm just going to say it and see if any of you can relate to it here. How do you bury people in the Bronze Age? So I don't know if that's related to any of you, because that's not related to me at all. Another question that is interesting is that, is there such a thing as too drunk? Yep. But then again, I wouldn't know. I probably got it wrong because I was still busy trying to find out how we bury people in the Bronze Age. Been in this country for 7 years now. The only time I feel discriminated against because of how I look was actually when I got my citizenship and has to do my first passport. Go on to the Home Office website, and then they tell you to take the photo, upload it, and they told me I cannot use that photo. And they gave me the reason. The reason was, they said my eyes were fucking closed. Thank you so much for coming out to see us tonight.
Let's hear for Sutti Synnott.